Hello and welcome. I'm Adrian Gregan, and I'm back for more Jujutsu Kaisen Season 1. Today we're here with Episode 14, and it looks like we're at the start of a new arc. Uh, we've got a new OP and ED coming up, which I'm incredibly excited to react to and analyze. And I've also going to talk about the previous opening. Not so much the ending, other than how much I'm going to miss it, for obvious reasons. But last time in the actual episode, we finished up Junpei's arc, I suppose you could call it. I'm not sure what the actual official name of the arc is, but even though he wasn't there at the very end, it will officially, in my mind, be considered the Junpei arc, because what an impression he left. Not just on me, but on the characters as well, especially Yuji, of course. It's a difficult story, right? A story of grappling with humanity and grappling with the value of life and about what makes somebody human and what makes somebody human in your eyes and in the eyes of other people. And it's not something that can be easily answered, and it's not something that this arc tried to answer either. It's more setting out the pieces and finally firmly establishing the trajectories, the intersecting trajectories of Yuji and Mahito. But other than the storyline aspect of it, it was obviously emotionally just devastating, just absolutely devastating. I'm not very outwardly expressive, in case you couldn't tell, especially with like getting sad or getting upset. I usually just kind of shut down, especially when I'm like watching a story or watching a show, an anime. But man, episode 12 hit me really hard. Like I was like zoned out for the rest of the day, honestly. It was hard to watch episode 13 right after. It made me feel a little bit better, thankfully, but it was tough to get through, sorry. But we got through it, and now we're on the other side, and it looks like we're finally here with the long-anticipated tournament arc, perhaps. It's certainly something with the Kyoto Sister School, so I imagine it is the tournament arc, because it looks like it's going to be like a four-parter or something. I didn't read the titles, but just from pulling up the episode, I glance at it, and it's just like a series of four, just the identical title all the way down, because it doesn't say the whole title. So there's the Kyoto Sister School Exchange, ... So I'm excited to see if we get into it. I assume this is going to be that tournament. I assume it's going to be where Yuji is finally going to reunite and show his team that he's alive. We'll obviously get to see more of them. We'll get to see Mai again. And Toto. We can see how they're doing, and potentially we'll meet that character that we said was overseas. It sounded like he wasn't planning on being around for the tournament, but I've got a sneaking suspicion that this might be a good time to introduce him, so I'm looking forward to that. Well, I'm looking forward to the potential of that, and even if it doesn't happen, I'm just really looking forward to this arc. In case you can't tell, I'm pretty excited. It's a little hard to gather my thoughts, even though I try to do it before recording. I really just want to get into this because the first opening, the first ending were both incredible, obviously. The ending especially. The opening was really good. Has some things that I'll be looking forward to talking to in the ending, especially some things I was talking about in the comments with a certain commenter. So we'll dive into that after the episode as I'm looking over the opening and talking about the last one. But yeah, the ending especially has very big shoes to fill, so we'll see what happens. Regardless, I've yapped on enough about all the prep stuff. I'm sure you're eager, as I am, for me to get into things, so I won't waste any more of your time. If you are new here, I do full reactions. I don't edit them down. However, the visuals will be covered up to a degree, especially on YouTube for copyright. If you want it like completely unedited, uncropped, then it'll be in the description for free. I don't put it behind a paywall, but the analysis will just be on YouTube, so make sure you come back here if you click on that link. Otherwise, I will just see you after the reaction. Now, if you do enjoy it, please do like, subscribe, leave a comment. I would love to engage with discourse with you. Regardless of what you want to comment about, I will respond to it. I can guarantee that. Unless it's something completely offhand, in which case I'll probably just delete it. But I haven't gotten to that point yet, and I hope I won't. So if you want to engage in discourse, I'd be happy to with you. Regardless, all that housekeeping out of the way, let's jump into Jujutsu Kaisen, Season 1, Episode 14. Let's see what we've got in store for us. Now that Yuji set on a newfound journey of discovering his conviction. Is that Volcano Head? That's Volcano He's smoking the curse, isn't he? And there's Mahito. Got some man service up in here. Not complaining at all.
まあな、ここは居心地がいい。人間ども寄りつかん。
肉体がないのも考えもんだよね。自己保管の効率悪いし。
マヒト、お前も随分と消耗しているな。
He's been through a
バ
lot.
レた？スクナと器、あいつら天敵でさ。
One thing I forgot to mention last time, we had a very cathartic therapy session where we just got to beat up on Mahito, and it was an absolute joy.
はっきり縛り作らせるべきじゃなかった？こいつ殺されたくなかったらスクナに体あげちゃって。いや、縛りはあくまで自分が自分に課すものだ。他者の介入や他者間との縛りは簡単ではないよ。あれの形を変えず普通に致命傷を与えればよかったかな。そうすればスクナの反転術式で直せたかも。
I don't think that would have done it though. Sukuna clearly lives on his own terms.
あの性格だ。
Yeah.
どちらにしろ断ってたか。そうか。スクナに触れて分かったけど、とりあえずゲトウのプランを軸に進めていいと思う。スクナにはそれだけの価値がある。
I gave it my shot. Let's just do what Geto wants.
指をすべて集め、
Because obviously.
少なに献上するか。結果わしらが全滅してもだな。
It will give you what you're trying to do.
100年後の荒野で笑うのはわしである必要はない。呪いが人として立っていればそれでいい。
Interesting.
分かってるね。じゃあまず光
Volcano
線の
Head's
保有
got
する6本の指を回収するよ。
a little bit of a spine at least. That's
ジ
good.
ェツ氏はスクナの指を取り込ませるために虎杖裕二を飼っているのであろう。放っておいても勝手に食うだろう。
光線上層部は虎杖裕二の器としての強度を測りかねている。何本目から暴走するかとね。
We're gonna help
取り
along
込
with
ませ
that.
るのは全ての指を揃えた後さ。例外を除いてだけど。すぐ食べさせたい。それまで待てないだろう。最悪虎杖裕二が上に消される可能性もある。
They did
補
try.
欠にいらずんばか。さてどうしたものか。
手は打ってやる。そのために手持ちの指を光線に回収させたんだから。
Slowly feed him the fingers. Subtly. Here we go. Vivid Vice, I believe it's called. Is that Hardcore Panda? This tone is very different from the other one. There's a heaviness to it. This arc's gonna get serious. Oh, the art is so good, the animation. Obviously the last one's really smooth, but this one's like different. It's like this old school opening, it's this old school shonen kind of rock sound. It's great. Oh. Hanami. There's gonna be a lot of Hanami. Okay. The guitar, nice. Going back. Interesting. Interesting.
なのみなんか面白い話して。
I think I actually do like it better than the
よ
first
し
one.
わかった。じゃあ廃棄のおにぎりでキャッチボールしながら
It's definitely a lot more in it than the first
語ろう
opening.
ぜ。動画上げて炎上しようぜ。
A lot more depth. Even I can tell.
お一人でどうぞ。何が分かったんだか。
I like how they're both
五
covering
条
their eyes to
悟
some
の大
degree.
好きなところで山手線ゲーム。
I guess those are kind of glasses.
その調子で頼みますよ。今の虎杖君にはそういうバカさが必要ですから。
Keep the spirits up.
重めの任務をいくつかこなしてもらう。重めってそういう意味じゃなかったんだ
Yeah,
けどな。
different kind of.
ななみ、
Hard.
吉野ってこの家にあった指について有事に言ってません。彼の場合、不要な責任を感じるでしょう。お前に任せてよかったよ。で、指は
Consider it.
ちゃんと上に提出しましたよ。あなたに渡すと虎杖君に食べさせるでしょう。
That is the
で
plan.
も本当に復帰させていいんですか？交流会で存在が公になればまた上層部に狙われるのでは。だとしてもユージはもう大丈夫。それはお前が一番分かってるんじゃないの？
Confidence in him. Speak to the devil.
お、ナナミンもいる。なあなあ、早くみんなのとこ行こうぜ。ワクワクワクワクワク
No.
ワクワク。
ユージ、もしかし
They're
て
definitely gonna cry.
ここまで引っ張って普通に登場するつもり？
違うの？
死んでた仲間が2月後、
You
実は
gotta
生
think
きて
about
ま
their
したので
feelings too.
術師やっててもそうないよ。やるでしょサプライズ。
Okay, we've gotta play into it. Opposite direction.
僕に任せてよ。
Even better.
1年は嬉しさと驚きで泣き笑い。2年も京都ももらい泣き。おえつのあまりゲロを吐く者も現れ。最終的に地球温暖化も解決する。
Cool.
いいね。何したらいい？先生、俺何したらいい？
何もしなくていい。僕の言う通りにしろ。流れるままに。
だから何したらいい？
Yeah, and he's just watching
大
like.
事でしょうよ。
Oh god. These idiots.
なんでみんな手ぶらなの？
あ、お前こそなんだその荷物は。
What an awesome
何っ
scene.
てこれから京都でしょ？
No, they're coming here, of
京
course.
都って姉妹校交流会。
京都の姉妹校と交流会だ。東京で。
Of course it's in Tokyo. Come on.
ど
I know you wanna
最
sightsee,
近会話が
but-
噛み合わないわけだ。
ですね、鮭。
去年勝った方の学校でやんだよ。
Oh, okay.
俺らは去年出てねえよ。去年は
She just wants to see Kyoto. That's understandable.
理科の開示前だったからな。
Kyoto's probably one of my favorite places I've
京都でやったか
visited.
ら見てねえけど。
許さんぞこつ。
One of my favorite places I've visited recently. Oh, you
理
did,
科の
that's
開示
right.
前だったからな。圧勝だったらしいぞ。
Ooh,
京都でやったから見てねえけ
What is
ど。
that?
許さんぞこつ言うた。
Of course.
会ったことねえけどよ。
Is that like his familiar? Or
鮭。
おい、
terrifying?
来たぜ。
あら、東京校の皆さん、お揃い。
Ooh. The synth drop.
わざわざ
Love
お出
it.
迎え。
Oh, they've got Groot.
おっこついねえじ
Oh, we went over this.
うるせえ、早く菓子折り出せこら。八つ橋くず切りそばボーラ。
鮭。
ゃん。腹減ってんのか？
Sam is fine.
道に怖。
Who is this child?
おっこつがいないのはいいとして、一
That's just a robot.
手が過ぎないか。
ロボがいる。
Exactly. Mekamaru?
年は関係ないよ。
I think it's a little relevant.
特に伏黒君。
Okay,
彼
that's
は
fine.
全員家の血筋だが、宗家よりよほど出来が良い。
Oh,
何か？
別に。
you're part of the same
二人と
clan.
も落ち着いてください。
Yeah, Miwa's here. Awesome.
はーい。うちわで
She's a
喧嘩
second
しない。
year.
まったくこの子らは。
I thought she was an adult.
で、あのバカは？
サトルは遅刻だ。
バカが時間通りに来るわけねえだろ。
誰もバカが五条先生のこととは言ってませんよ。
おんまた
There's the baka.
五条悟。
やーや
The two reactions, awesome. Two types of people. Of course you did.
時差ボケじゃない。
はい、京都のみんなにはとある部族のお守りを。歌姫のはないよ。
いらねえよ。
そして東京のみんなにはこちら。
ハイテンションの音ってことね。
Silence you. That's the surprise.
個人の虎杖裕二君で
That's how they're doing it. They're like we were finally free from him. They're all distracted. He had all these hopes, but of course the one person who's surprised, the freaking elder. Well, at least Gojo got that win.
びっくりして死んじゃったらどうしようかと心配しましたよ。
Oh, that's incredible. That reveal is amazing. He's the reward. Or he's the souvenir. What are you doing alive? They're pissed. But they are happy. It wasn't my fault. Sort of. Entirely. I guess. The show really loves its vocal OSTs. It is such a joy to listen to. Speaking of a joy to listen to, got that stereo audio. Exchange event, yeah. And then we got individual battles, baby. What? I can already tell Gojo named it. I like this. Also see how skilled they are in something that's actually like part of their job. Smart. Make sure you don't kill anyone like this. Gojo is the perfect agent of chaos. Oh my god. Tell me they're forcing him to hold it up for the entire day. Reflect on your actions. And the human didn't. Necessity. I had a feeling it was something along those lines. Yeah. It's caution.
強い言葉を使えばでかい反動が来るし、最悪自分に返ってくる。語彙絞るのは
stones may break my bones.
守るためでもあんのさ。
で、先輩はなんで喋れんの？新種のパンダとか？
人の術式をペラペラと。
いいんだよ。トゲのはそういう次元じゃねえから。んなことよりユージ。戸ざま返せよ。
Oh, the cleaver. Yeah, because she has the weapons. Perfectly believable. Achoo. What is your story? You two clearly have a story. Not that you need a story to be discussed with Gojo. I just happen to be more of a Miwa. Oh, I can punch twice. in one fist.
そいつが死んでる間何してたかは知りませんが、
Important distinction.
東京校京都校全員呪力なしで戦い合ったら虎杖が勝ちます。
Yep. Well, I don't know if Yuji be the one
東
winning,
堂
but
と戦ってるめぐみが言うんだ。信憑性はある。面白い。
スクナの器。虎杖裕二は殺せ。あれは人ではない。故にすべて不問、事故として処理する。遠慮も躊躇もいらんぞ。
I thought he was like talking to Gojo. This is an order.
殺すも何も彼死なないからここにいるんですよね。
さっきの虎杖の死は自死だと聞いておる。敵対術師にとどめを刺すとき気をつけねばならんことはかも。
はい。死後呪いに転ずることを防ぐために呪力で殺します。
そうだ。他者の呪力でしっかりとどめを刺せば何の問題もない。現在肉体の主導権は虎杖裕二にある。スクナが出てこなければただの一回生だ。くびるのはくだらん。勝手にやってる。
戻れと。
Yeah, he's not interested in that.
学長の話の途中だ。
11時から散歩番組に高田ちゃんがゲスト出演する。これ以上説明いるか。
Don't have time for this nonsense.
リア
Recording.
タイ
He's
登録が
clearly
両
never.
方見んだよ。
He's clearly never been to a live
舐めて
event.
んのか。
そこかよ。
いいかお前ら、じいさんもよく聞け。女の趣味の悪いお前らには当の昔に失望してる。謀略策略勝手にやる。ただし次俺に指図してみろ。
You're the one I'll kill. I believe him.
どうします？
I don't believe he'll
あ
be
の
able
様
to,
子
but
じ
I
ゃ
believe
作
him.
戦行動なんて無理ですよね。学長もどっか行っちゃったし、私あの人に殺されたくないですよ。
いいんじゃないかな。どうせあいつ東京陣営まっしぐらだもん。勝手に暴れてくれるなら私たちはゲームに専念すればいいんじゃない？
でも私たちは虎杖裕二を殺さなきゃでしょ。マジでやんの？あの人殺すまではやらないんじゃない？やりそうではあるけれど。
そうなると東堂を監視し虎杖裕二にとどめを刺す役が必要だな。
私は嫌だ。呪霊の相手もあるからどうせ2マンセルですし、ちょうどいいですかね。
いや、高専に所属する呪術師の中に虎杖裕二のような半端者がいるのは由々しき事態だ。交流会以前の問題、鴨家着流として見過ごせん。私たち全員で虎杖裕二を襲撃す
So
る。
he's fully on board with it.
待って、虎杖くんと犬巻くんが一緒にいたらどうするの？呪言師を前にガン首揃えるのは少しリスキーだよ。
Oh,
最悪
right.
一網打尽にされちゃうんじゃ。
確かにな。
Gotta be wary of him.
いや、あれは来ると分かっていればそこまで怖いものじゃない。
You have a counter.
マキは私にやらせて、できれば茶髪の1年も。
その発言、東堂と同レベルだよ。
It was definitely the idol event. Disconnected.
あ、なんで切れてんの？
別に切れてないけど。
Just
そうよ
disgusted.
ね。僕何もしてないし。高専に呪詛師、あるいは呪霊と通じている奴がいる。
ありえない。呪詛師ならまだしも呪霊と。
そういうレベルのが最近ゴロゴロ出てきてんだよね。人語を介し、徒党を組み計画的に動いている。本人は呪詛師とだけ通じてるつもりかもしれないけど、京都側の調査を歌姫に頼みたい。
私が内通者だったらどうすんの？
Singing princess?
ないない、歌姫弱いし、そんな度胸もないでしょ。怖っ、ヒスは持てないよ。
私の方が先輩なんだよ。
You're the senpai. I may need to go back and check her introduction. I don't quite remember.
大丈夫か？
Is she their teacher?
あ
I
あ
assume.
なんか大役っぽいけどなんとかなんべ。
そうじゃねえ。何かあったろ。
I mean,
なん
a
もねえよ。
lot of something's happened. You're gonna have to be more specific than that.
けど大丈夫なのは本当だよ。むしろそのおかげで誰にも負けたくねえんだわ。
ならいい。俺も割と負けたくない。
何が割とよ。一度ぶっ転がされてんのよ。あっしょー、コテンパンにしてやんのよ、マキさんのためにも。そういうのやめろ、変態か。
そう、マキのためにもな。
For the ED coming up.
そんじゃまあ勝つぞ。
何仕切ってんだよ。
Here we go. So I'm gonna start vertical cameras. This is gonna make me cry one of these episodes, isn't it? Beautiful voice. Is this a Koshunue? I don't know how to pronounce the name. Oh, it's called Give It Back, right? I've never heard it before, but I've seen the name. Yeah. This is not gonna end well. Yeah, I'm recording. Haunting vocals. Great composition too of all these shots. Juju Sampo. Super at the hot springs. Okay, so we are seeing what the idol was doing.
君もさ、ああいうのやんなきゃ。
やったらやったで怒るじゃないですか。
いらっしゃい。高田ちゃんは何が好きなの？
赤ひもですね。常温の日本酒とこれがうまいんだ。
いくつだっけ？
あ？
大将はもう握られて何年ぐらい
？27 years.
となると300年くらい前ですか？
酔ってんの？いいお味。赤ひもね。
Goldfish. I don't think I've had that before.
そっちももらっていいですか？
Kind of funny how her face is the only one we can't see in the shot. Odd effect. She's putting on a mask. Can't really see what she's thinking.
先生、おっぱっぴーの意味知ってる？
え、意味あんの？
オーシャンパシフィックピース。
マジ
？Sure, why not? Alright, so that was episode 14. As you can probably tell, especially like halfway through that, I appear to have lost my lighting, so we're riding by the seats of our laptop lighting for this one. Yeah, great episode. Very lighthearted, very what's the word? It's not like meaningless or senseless, right? It's very needed, very deserved. A nice winding down after the last episode. Very indicative of that we start in Hot Springs, right? If that's not indicative of what's going to happen for this episode, then I don't know what is. And it's also winding up for the next big action, which is going to be the next 3 episodes, and whatever comes after that. I don't know if this will end going haywire or if things will go wrong after this next arc, but it's very clear things are going to go wrong. They're going to go very wrong. That ED and just this opening, there's a heaviness to it. There's a weight. There's a feeling of loss. And I do love the first opening. I like it quite a lot. It's a little bit surface level, at least on the surface. There may be a lot more symbolism, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But here you can already tell, like, there's something different about it. This isn't just introducing the characters, showing off powers. There's a lot of Hanami, but there's a lot in this opening. It is really, I mean, it's beautiful, obviously, right? I'll probably have to leave most of this blocked, but it's beautiful. Mahito blowing the bubbles of the city. So I guess this is a good time as any to talk about the last one. I'll leave the comment up there for it, but I feel like the rain and the bubbles here, good time as any to talk about the symbolism of water. As a commenter brought out to me, in Japan especially, water has several different symbolic and cultural meanings, whether it be the purification of water in rituals or just its symbolic meaning as not only for cleansing, purifying, but also of rinsing things out, of growth, of movement, of change, right? Because you don't have to be in Japan to recognize a waterfall, to recognize a stream that slowly grows larger and larger as it cleaves out the riverbed, the ocean lapping away at the sand, right? Just erosion itself, that is water. Water creates change, and it's also a cycle in and of itself. It is, you could almost call it the lifeblood of the world, right? So, and when you get an injury, what do, right? The first thing you ever want to do if you have like an open wound is you want to wash it out with water. So really, especially in Japan, but it really transcends cultures where the idea of water is a cleansing and sort of this force of growth and change, very potent. So I'll put the screenshot up here as well, but the fact that there is water imagery throughout the last arc too, but especially throughout the opening, and like Itadori Yuji being like in the train, he's like knee deep in like this water. It's kind of a still water though, so it's not like a raging waterfall or anything. There's a certain piece to it, which is interesting. I need to think about it more to see how the all different change, but it's very poignant, both of them, right? The purification and the passage of time, the change that water represents. As I mentioned, Mahito and Yuji, they're two different kinds of change, right? Mahito learning about, believing that he's a perfect form that he basically just needs to fill out, whereas Yuji is breaking down his perceptions of himself and needing to build it back up. He's realizing the flaws in his conviction, and he's coming to the more productive, growth-oriented conclusion that the world is not wrong, I am wrong. Not wrong necessarily, but needs to change, right? I'm in need of changing. I'm in need of defining my terms and figuring out what my conviction really is. So to continue basically the over-analysis and the seeing symbolism where it isn't there, I like the idea of here, him blowing the bubbles away from himself, right? And also over the city. There's this kind of feeling of this change is going to be washing over the city, right? Feeling of something's going to be different, and obviously the rain falling down and whew, that I am getting so many bad vibes from this opening and from the ending as well. It's just there are things that are going to start moving, and I am clearly not ready for it. Gojo is not smiling. This kind of nostalgic pan, right? The pan up of this, the kind of the filter that's placed over it, the nostalgic filter. Everyone's serious faces. Geto is pouring an awful lot of chocolate syrup on. I don't know what that is exactly. I don't know who that is. Obviously, you know what I mean. The ants, the water, Sukuna, blood that spills and then spreads out like a curse, like a virus almost multiplying. The principal and the panda. Don't know who those are. Is that the guy from the clan, the guy who's on board with the mission? The guy with his eyes closed, because he has the eyes closed. Not sure. Oh god, I can't look at that. That's a whole lot of stuff happening. These are cool. I like these action scenes better than the one in the first opening. There's more of a continuity to it. It's still beautiful, but the other one is just changing between all the different openings, and this just is not loading for some reason. What's going on here? Oh no, it's going right. There's just a lot of, yeah. And obviously Hanami, yeah, there's a lot here. The flower blooming and the water and like the bubbles floating around everywhere. Yeah, it's going to be a really interesting one to develop as the show goes on, far more than the first one, even though the first one already had a lot to look into and a lot to learn about as you learn about the story. This one's just on another level, I can already tell. Talk about something interesting. I'm bored. You pretend you don't like it, but you enjoy it. You enjoy Gojo's company. This whole setup for them going to be super happy is the perfect setup for what's going to happen. And this is just incredible. This is the best gag of the episode. It'll solve global warming. Cool. Gojo is very cool. If anyone could solve global warming. But you're going to be the souvenir. Very dumb. She wants to see the world. She loves food. This is terrifying. I am really interested in Okotsu. They're doing a really good job building him up. But it doesn't look like we're going to see him this arc after all. Unless he shows up all of a sudden. They've got a robot and a lolly on their team. I think we're already out of our depth. We'll try our best, though. And Miwa, she's a second year, interestingly enough. She's just wearing a suit, I guess. Maybe she also works as a bodyguard, which is why. We'll see. And then this person, these children. Kyoto school leader, Yori Utahime. Semi-first grade sorcerer. Interesting. Perhaps waiting on getting the official ranking. But she is Gojo's senpai. Probably because she's been in Jujutsu Tech for longer. Something along those lines. As if you'd ever show up on time. We've got souvenirs for you all. And for you, I've got one. Oh, OPP, that's what he was talking about. Global warming, right? World peace. Wonderful. And classic gag, right? Yay! Ugh. Ah! Oh! Perfect. The exact time you don't want to use animation, right? You just want to cut between the shots. And the panda. I love the various levels of how basic the art is drawn, depending on their reaction. Like, these two are just completely just out of it, while these three are just, what is happening? Maki's certainly feeling a certain way after feeling like a monster for telling them to get off their sorry asses for mourning, not knowing what had happened. She's probably plenty mad at Yuji for that. No way, I thought they'd be happy. Here's Sukuna's vessel, and they love their treats. And of course, Miwa loves it the most. Mai's holding it like, ugh, I don't know if I want this. The three characters we don't know are indecipherable, and I can only assume that Toto's wondering if he loves it or hates it, or wondering if it's useful at all. Maybe he's wondering what type it is. And the one person who's got the reaction Itadori wanted is the one person he really doesn't care about. The principal is just, oh, Gojo. I was worried you'd have a heart attack and die. I'm glad to see you're still alive. Less paperwork for me. Wacky Curse Spirit Exorcism race, definitely named by Gojo, no question about it. And it's good that it's curse-centered, right? Just showing their abilities and also their teamwork, and while also having that kind of the group v group disruption going on. Great layers to it to make it both engaging and, well, useful, right? Meaningful. As a good test of their abilities. This competition with also cooperation, balancing the two. As soon as I saw the close-up, I was like, yeah, they're definitely making him do it all day. Because, of course, reflect on what you've done. It wasn't all your fault, but reflect anyways. I don't care. The panda talked. The human didn't. How long have I been out for? And we learn that he is indeed, it's out of, maybe not necessity, but caution that he doesn't quite speak. So he limits his vocabulary drastically. Yeah. Interesting. We're definitely going to see how he's going to do it. And we still don't get an answer how Parkour Panda talks, because of course we don't. Throwing Gojo under the bus, he's definitely just going to take it because that's Gojo. And there's a lot of confidence that Yuji's going to handle himself. And the order is given to kill Sukuna's vessel. Good fucking luck. This guy really wants him dead. Understandable, right? We obviously disagree, and because it's going to throw our whole plan into commotion, but there's so much risk factor for it. I don't blame someone like him at all for being the old guard, for trying to play it safe. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's more to it that we don't know, but this is a great little strife. Mai, of course, playing the straight man. Awesome. Bad tasting woman. I don't know if the robot has a tasting woman. Maybe he has a tasting robotic woman. I shouldn't judge. Do what you want. I've got something at 11. I've got an idol show to watch live. It'll be interesting to learn more about these characters as we go on. I'm less interested in what powers they have than what kind of people they are. I'm not mad, just disgusted. I didn't do anything. And you did everything that Gojo would and does do. That's enough reason. And she wastes her tea on Infinity. And I guess it wasn't wasted, it was a little cathartic, even if it was frustrating you can't land the blow. Let's crush him, let's go! Why are you leading? You're the newest person here. Even if you didn't die. And then we get to the ED. With the vertical show, it's very much shot in the one person. The only thing that's missing is all the gooey stuff, which, I mean, that's fine. Whatever. That would just be distracting. And it's different between different devices, so the vertical just plenty enough, and the motion blur and all that stuff. And just turning the nostalgia and the reflection up to 11, right? And the song called Give It Back, we're going to lose a lot more than Junpei this arc. And it's probably not going to be the exchange arc. We're probably going to have a little bit more time to get to know everyone, build these memories. At least I hope so. But it's definitely going to be taken away. Nice little blink and you'll miss a gag of Sukuna at the and of course the hot spring is blood. And then we got seeing what the live show is. Interesting that her face is the only one that we never see, because the other two people are genuine while she's by necessity by her job putting on a mask, right? We don't really know her. And then next time is the group battle 1. Okay. Really good episode. Really solid episode. A great show of how to have an incredibly engaging and interesting episode without having like any action. There's a little bit of tension with the kill Yuji, but nothing we didn't see coming. There's no big shock, no big twist, at least not for us. For these two, there's a little bit more, but just really good tying together some threads, building up the next one. Like I said, I think it was about episode 7 or so, when we finished up the Cursed We Must Die. The show's really good at tying together its arcs together, and it's really engaging and awesome to see. These episodes are enjoyable in the way that the fight scenes just aren't, right? The character building and the relationship building, the world building is just, it's not something you can get when you're stuck in the battle, as valuable as the battles are. These are just as if not more valuable, right? So I'm really enjoying it. Speaking of, looks like we're going to be getting into the battles next time, and I'm really excited for that. I hope you're excited as well. If you are, please do like, subscribe, join me on my journey. I'm trying to finish JJK Season 1 and 2 before 3 drops in January. Do leave a comment also if there's something that you think I missed, something I said that you want to add on to, or just something about the episode that, like the previous commenter mentioned, that I may have not known about the story, about the context, about anything really. I would love to engage in discourse with you. It's why I enjoy watching this. As you can tell, my analysis is longer than my reaction, because that's really the value you get out of it. So please do engage with the discourse. I would love to see you down in the comments. But whether you do or not, I hope you're as excited for the next one as I am. And until then, have a lovely rest of your day.